Hello, it's Keep It Crafty with LaDonya here, and I am here to show you a little project that I saw. I was watching a video from Crafty Karen Designs a couple of weeks ago, and I saw she'd got a little pouch for all her foam pads, her dimensionals. So once I finished watching, I set to, and I decided to make one. So I'm going to make another one because I'm going to gift one away, and I'm going to show you how I did it. So I don't know if this is the same size as hers because the video I watched wasn't a tutorial for this. It was a covered notebook, which was really pretty, but this was what I spotted her using when she was doing that. So I'm going to show you how I made it, and I hope you like it. So I started off with a piece of cardstock that is 10, this is all in inches. So it's 10 by 5 5/8, and we're going to score it at, on the short side, we're going to score it at 1/2 inch, and then 7/8 inch, and 4 3/4, and 5 1/8. There we go, and then I'm just going to turn it around to the long side, and then we're going to score at 2 3/8, then 2 3/4, then we're going to move along and score at 7 and 7 3/8. So that's all our scoring done, so we can get rid of the scoreboard now, and we're going to fold and burnish. So these measurements are to fit in the 4 sets. So we've got the mini dimensionals in black and white, and then the standard dimensionals in black and white as well. So that's four pieces of dimensionals that we need to get in there. So that's, and I found that the 3/8 inch spine was just right for that. So that's done that. Now what I can't remember is which way round this goes, so let me just grab my ruler. So 2 3/8 is the top. So that's the top. Let me just write top on there so as I don't forget. So this will be the flap that folds over and closes on the outside like that. So now we need to do some cutting. So I'm going to get my big scissors out for this because I'm going to need to do some long cutting. We're going to need to get rid of quite a bit. We need to get rid of all of this down to about here, but we'll measure that in a minute. We need to get rid of this bit here because that, yes, we need to get rid of that bit there. And we need to get rid of all of that. Sorry, I apologise. We need to get rid of both of those pieces there. So we're going to go on the inside of that second score line, and then if we snip there, snip that out. We'll do the same on the other side. So we've got a very dull day here today, so I'm sorry we've got some shadowing from my lamps. I apologise about that. Right, so that's got rid of those, and then we need an empty gap at the side there. So we're going to come down to about here. So let's just mark that with a pencil. We'll mark it a bit up because we can always cut more off. We don't want to cut too much away to start with. We can always come back in and take a little bit more away. So again, we're going to go to the left hand side of this second score line and just take that all the way down to that pencil mark. And on this side, and then we'll pencil marks on this side. Let's go there, and then we'll just neaten off where it meets up with the front flap, the bottom flap, when we know where we need to be. So let's cut these. We're just leaving ourselves that little tiny square just there. So getting rid of the outside rectangle, but leaving the square. I'm going to change my little snips now. Yeah, I can't even hang my scissors up, can't get to the hook. Right. So I'm just going to wedge these little tiny squares so as they don't give us any bulk. I thought this was a really cute way of keeping your dimensionals all in one place. When you have a place to put them and you put them in there, you always know where they are, rather than them laying about and falling down inside things and never knowing which one's where. Right, so then we're going to fold this up so then we can see exactly where we want to cut this, and we want to cut it just there. So we'll cut all the way across to that second score line and then just neaten that bit up just there. Again, and we'll do the same on the other side. We'll just check that, make sure that's right. Yep, and then same on the other side. Just there. Up to the score line, or the second score line, and then tidy it up. So now we've done that, if we just wedge these slightly, because we don't want any just little slivers sticking over the side. There we go. And we are left with that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the DSP on before I build it, because it's easier that way. So what I've done is I've cut my DSP. If it's directional, you want the width, that is the width. So 3 3/4 is the width. So obviously if it's directional, you want the pattern up and down that way. So this one is 3 3/4 by 4 1/8, and that's going to sit on the back there like that. It's just 1/8 smaller than the panel itself. So if we stick that on, I've chosen paper that's non-directional, and just cut a strip down a 12 by 12 sheet. I'll cut it at 3 3/4, so as then I know I had enough length, and I just had to snip off at the relevant measurements. So that's that one on. Then the one for the top, yep, that's that one, is 3 3/4, the same, they're all 3 3/4 wide. So 3 3/4 by 2 1/4 tall. And let's stick that one on. Now what I've missed, I'm afraid this is a retired punch. I've got a little tab punch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that on here. I need to do that quite quickly because I've put my glue on the flap now, on the DSP. So let's just stick that on. I'm just going to eyeball it in the middle. Just about there. And then stick the DSP over the top. See, with my one, I forgot to put that on first, so my tab is on the outside of my DSP. But that was the first one I made, so you're allowed to forget things on that. I'll then turn it around and put the last one on, and this is 3 3/4 wide by 2 1/2. Just stick that one on there. Like so. So now it's time to build the box. No, it's not. I've fibbed. What I'm doing, because this has got a magnetic closure, so I have cut 2 extra pieces of card. That will be for the top. So this one is going to cover the inside of here, and I've cut this at 3 11/16 by 2 3/16, and this one will cover the inside of here. So this is cut at 3 11/16 by 2 7/16. So then what I can do, I can get my magnets and pop them in place. I'm going to put them down with a bit of stamping seal. So we need to make sure that we're putting them close enough to the edge. Oh dear, I haven't used this for a while. Oh, this is not giving me fun today. There we go. Right, so I'm just going to pop that in there, like so, and then cover it over with this bit of card. We don't want the magnet interfering when we're putting our dimensional sheets inside. So I'm just going to cover that up. Like so. Just give it a really good press around the magnet. We don't want that cardstock lifting at all. And then on this side, what we're going to do is pop some tape. I'm going to put plenty of tape on. What I'm hoping to do is be able to pick it up. Oh dear. With this. So we line that up so that it's nice and straight. And just try and pick the magnet up. No, that hasn't worked. So let's weaken that. I've got a strip of card here. In fact, 2 strips of card will pop on. So we'll weaken the link between the magnets. So that's obviously in the right place because it's nice and stuck there, and then we'll try again. There we go. So that's picked that up, and then we'll just cover that over with this piece of card. I think a little magnetic closure just makes it feel nicer, doesn't it? Again, make sure you press it down really well around the magnet so as the cardstock doesn't lift. There we go. And then, now we can make the box. So, I've got glue on my fingers now from a tape runner. There we go. Right, so we're just going to fold. I'm not going to glue these pieces. I'm just going to fold them in because then they will hold in place once that is glued on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my pads out so I've got something inside to press against. And then I'm just going to put my glue on. I probably should glue both sides at the same time. There we go. So make sure the little tiny square tab is inside, and then we'll just give that a quick press, and then this one as well, that tab is not inside, so it's a good job we hadn't pressed down yet. Right, so that one's nice and straight, that one's nice and straight, so there we go. So now we've got something inside to press against while the glue dries. And that is our little project finished. And it sits nice in my, I've got a little desk tidy here, it sits nice in there, and I always know where my little foam pads are, rather than scrabbling about trying to find which ones I want, and they've fallen down, fallen sideways, in the wrong slot. I always know now where they are. So that is my project. I hope you like it. Please give me a thumbs up if you do. And yes, like I say, Crafty Karen Designs, where I saw this, was doing a lovely notebook cover. So I'm making a hash of this, aren't I? There we go. So do check out her videos as well. But this one is mine. And of course using the beautiful, soon to be released, well, as this video goes out, this will be available to buy. It's called Blackberry Beauty DSP, and it's in the new mini catalogue. It's absolutely beautiful with all the foiling in there. Absolutely beautiful. And the cardstock I used was rich raspberry to match with the background of the DSP. I hope you like it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.